Did you have any issues now in hindsight over some of the things that Charlie Kirk said and some of the rhetoric he used during his life?
I didn't closely follow his specific kinds of views.
I'm sure you learned about them after his death, though.
No, I haven't done a deep dive on it. You know, we've all seen that terrible video. Perhaps if you've seen the actual video, I have.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Dronetek here. If you hated the legacy media before, the clip I'm about to show you is gonna make it way worse. If there is one thing the assassination of Charlie Kirk has exposed in this country, it's the absolute murderous hatred the left and even mainstream left have for half this country. There was nothing extreme about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's views are the mainstream views of most of this country and even Democrats if you go back to the 90s. According to Couric, a former Democrat legacy media big shot, Charlie Kirk was so extreme and bad that he basically deserved what happened to him, and because of that, she pushes John Fetterman to condemn him.
This is just, excuse my language, this is completely fucked.
Do you think that flag should have been flown at half staff? Do you think his body should have been flown on Air Force Two? Do you think he should have posthumously be given the Presidential Medal of Freedom? I think some people felt that that was perhaps over the top in terms of mourning someone like Charlie Kirk. How did you feel about that?
I'd say that was his choice and his prerogative. And that was really entirely up to him.
Did you have any issues now in hindsight over some of the things that Charlie Kirk said and some of the rhetoric he used during his life?
I didn't agree with much of it. I didn't closely follow his specific kinds of views, but I did.
I'm sure you learned about them after his death, though.
No, I haven't done a deep dive on it. We've all seen that terrible video. Perhaps if you've seen the actual video, I have. And it's like appalling. And that's part of the political violence. And from what I'm saying, it's like that's unacceptable. And engaging in a debate and views I strongly disagree on, that's part of the American democracy. And for me, it's that would never justify what's happened, and I just chose not to take the opportunity to argue his views after children lost his father in the most violent public way. So that's, I would say the equivalent on the left might be, say, Mr. Piker. I strongly disagree with his views, but I'm appalled if something like that happened to him. Oh my God. That's, we have to disagree in better ways where, you're going to solve it by shooting people. And that's why the kinds of rhetoric, we have to turn the temperature down. Extreme rhetoric makes it easier for extreme reactions or to justify them.
I think some people might say Charlie Kirk's rhetoric was extreme. I think that's the conversation that happened. People condemned political violence, but they also felt a great deal of discomfort with his language, suggesting that these kinds of words lead to violence. I don't know. I'm just kind of sharing my observations as I saw the conversations unfold.
Yeah, I agree. I think we agree that we probably didn't agree with much of what he said. I'm sure we both agree that you shouldn't shoot people, and you shouldn't execute them in public. And I think that's two things must be true. That free speech, I'm an absolute free speech guy, and you have the right to say these things, and you definitely also have the right not to get shot by sharing your views.
Yes, all of those things are legitimate. Charlie Kirk was an American hero. He was out there every day debating people on university campuses, on places that these people won't admit it, but conservatives have a real hard time on university campuses. And that's been going on for at least the last 20 years. Actual violence is used against conservatives on campus for expressing their views. The fact that conservatives face violence and Charlie Kirk lost his life simply for doing this shows that he is at the very least a civil rights icon. Also, one other quick thing, the people that are upset about how Charlie Kirk was remembered and honored are the same people who are honoring and remembering George Floyd. That is just stupid, because anybody can think anyone else's rhetoric is extreme and then use that as justification for violence against them. The fact that they are unable to understand this makes me seriously wonder about these people actually being sentient human beings, and especially coming from someone in the media. Like, does she not understand that tons of people think that what she says is extreme?
It's different.
And it's almost like Katie Kirk is trying to mainstream or normalize this idea that the things he said lead to violence. So you better not say that, because a left-winger might decide you're a fascist and take you out. All right, folks, yeah, I really like what Fetterman said there. It's crazy that after a stroke and supposedly having some brain damage, that he can be the sensible one in this conversation. The only thing I would say is that he should have pushed back more on Charlie Kirk supposedly being an extremist, although he did admit that he hasn't really followed his views, and that even if his views were extreme, that doesn't justify it. So even Fetterman could see that Katie Kirk was actually trying to justify what happened to Charlie Kirk, which was a political assassination based on his viewpoints. He didn't die. There was no death, okay? He was murdered. His life was taken by a leftist motivated by rhetoric from people just like Katie Couric. All right, folks, that's all I have for that. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, and I'm not sure if YouTube will ever let you know about it, so make sure to keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.